Yeah, I appreciate you for that. The empty buildings, right? Yeah, man. A friend of mine's just moved from 81st and Amsterdam Avenue, and now is living. This is where they filmed 106 in Park, to the right. This building here. He moved on the other side of Manhattan to 81st in York, and he's like, I never see any neighbors. He's like, I don't know what it is, but maybe they all go to. I said to him, I said, maybe they all go to sleep by 10 o'clock. He says, you think so? And I was like, what are you saying? They like left the city? He says, I don't know. He says, I've seen a couple of young people, but they don't have kids. It's like, are we the only ones in the, mind you, this building is, one of those 200 story, not 200 stories, 200 unit, 300 unit. And he's seen, the same two or three couples, and that's it. He's like, where the hell are all the people in these buildings? And the reason why he's there is temporarily. He's just there renting for a couple of months while they renovate his other place. So, it's a theory that I have on how New York is such a stage and how New York is not as crowded as people would like to believe, or at least the way it's being pushed. And I have video. I have to go through so much video, but there was a video that I captured about how they would close down by Radio City Music Hall certain blocks where you couldn't even drive, and they would force you to drive up certain blocks and down certain blocks, so it became so congested that it appeared to be this bustling city where you could barely cross the street, and it was all staged so that the people that like are visiting, they can have that experience of, we were in traffic for a whole hour, oh my god, I will never go back there. And it's like, not real. It's totally not real. It's it's a stage. Whereas over here, you see nothing but lights on. We drive down there, everything is off. Yes, the very expensive areas are empty inside. But I believe, here's my argument to that though. My argument is that they've always been empty, and that it's always been a stage. You see, this city that we're in, when you look hard enough and deep enough, it starts to break down in itself. And it's like Truman left the Truman Show, but the people that were in the show never even met Truman. It was only like his classmates or the people he worked with that ever got a chance to meet Truman. And it was all these hundreds of people that were there as part of the set didn't even know that Truman left. They kept it under wraps. They had that big storm hit Truman. Not only did it hit Truman, that storm actually hit the Truman set. So no one really knew what was going on. And then when it was time to keep it going, it just kept going. That's us. We just kept it going. And we so caught up in trying to pay these bills and trying to pay rent, we never asked or find out truly how our parents even got here. How did you get here in New York? Like, a lot of those stories will start to break down. and they become very vague, and oh, grandma didn't write down stuff back in those days. Wow. Wow, the city that never isn't a stage. I believe they could have always been empty as well. In North Korea, they have empty buildings and undeveloped floors in hotels. The question's right. The Hollywood of East Coast. There is a lot of movie studios in and around New York City. Look, look at Silver Cup. Yeah, Silver Cup. I have a friend of mine that is heavy in Silver Cup, and they use all the surrounding buildings in that area for sci-fi movies, all kind of stuff. They're just non-stop filming, filming, filming. It's amazing that it can even get done. It's just very bizarre that they get as much done as they do. It's almost as if it's not real. But I'm not saying that people weren't there and it wasn't being created. It's just the impossible is being done. You have Amazon, you have HBO, Showtime, you have all kind of different networks making all these tons of movies, and they putting out series after series after series after series with 8 main characters and all the extras and all this kind of stuff, and it's all getting done. How's that even real? And I'm not saying that for the individual living in that moment that gets the guy who gets the call to go downstairs, to go to his job where he's a grip, where he's a stage hand, where he's just basically taking screws in and out. And then there's like a coffee guy walking around giving coffee. And then you got the other guy who's got the cart outside, and they gave him a call because, oh, look, and speak of, look what's about to drive right by us. That's a movie crew. You see, they're all over the city doing all kind of scenes. And I'm not saying that they're not real and that it's not happening for them, but the fact that they can produce this much stuff kind of has you say to yourself, like, wait a minute, how could in a real world this stuff get done? You got 45 different shows filming at the same time, and it's just bizarre. I don't really have a strong argument for this, so I'm gonna let that go. Let me see. I saw somebody else write something. No, I question in this case is morning or something. I watch a documentary right now, and it talks about certain shows that are taken off the air due to real life events, mind control, and some real shit. Yo, did anybody catch the Corbett Report at the www.corbettreport.com? You gotta hear this. Yo, this interview is crazy. LJ told me today, she says, listen, this was out for only a few minutes and they took it right off of YouTube. So, of course, we went right to www.corbettreport.com. And it probably brings you right to the stuff that he did about Bill Gates. Like, he has a whole 3-part series or maybe 4-part series on just Bill Gates. But let me tell you, just look down a little more. You're going to see what he put out there today. or at least this was yesterday, the 19th. When was the 19th? Yesterday, right? No, today's the 21st. So on the 19th, he put it out. And oh my God, it's amazing, 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 amazing work. Amazing work. Oh, it's not. I lived on this block for about 2 years. Right here, this building to the right. We're passing right by. I was a very young man. See, there's more filming over here. So, oh, this is some sort of stage thing going on here. Maybe for like Thanksgiving or something. I don't know. I'm not reading any of the what's happenings. I'm not aware of the festivities. You can do anything green screen. Yeah. But here's the problem. They're not doing green screen. They're running around the city, taking up bodegas. They're doing whole entire blocks that are full, that are looking like, I was driving by some block the other day. They had it looking. I couldn't tell whether it was post-apocalyptic or 1900 slums. Was it the 1900 slums or was it post-apocalyptic, futuristic set that they had? We're just driving by. People's buses are going. It's just insane what's going on with how much is being pushed and how much is being pumped to the people. Because it's like they got to keep us totally distracted. And they're getting a lot of the people with these TV shows. And these TV shows, I'm telling you, man, I'm not saying they're not good. I'm sure they're good, but it's truly a distraction. And they have to pump out so much stuff. It's like every week they're trying to pump out something new. And all the backstories are all the same. This person was trying to get this thing approved for the last 8 years. And finally, they got it approved, and now their new series is out, or their movie is out. Finally, they made it after struggling for so long. Can you please stop it with that story? Please stop it with that story. That's just so that while you busting your ass trying to write this stuff and it doesn't get picked up because they got so many stories they're recycling. And you over here thinking somehow, some way, you got to just wait your 9, 10 years, 15 years, and then it's going to happen for you. And I'm not saying there's no truth to that. I'm just saying it's overdone. The story, I'm over it. I'm over this story. another podcast weekly, you said, nah, the game is always rigged in all industries. You don't think it's fair until you see behind the curtain and it's effing with us. Yeah, man, it really is. And then you wrote, we're killing Travis Scott, but 50 Cent, who has had, and how many people killed off his music? Oh, an imagination. No, we can't blame 50 for that. People should be responsible for their actions, influenced by things. I get it, but that's probably because they didn't have a daddy. But that's a whole nother subject. Let me see what you first said that intrigued me. The game is rigged in all industries. Yeah, man. But that's why this reality that we in, it's actually um what's the word I'm looking for? This reality, if let's say it's some sort of straight line, right? And in this straight line, we have this reality, right? It's a straight line, maybe, possibly. Just imagine a straight line. And this line is going straight. And maybe there's a start and a finish. Nah, not really. There's no start or finish in this reality. It can go back and forth in any direction, right? So whichever direction it was going in, technology has allowed us to... Let me raise this window up. All right, cool. Technology has allowed us to, in this straight line of reality, allowed us to change our script, because possibly we're living in this reality, living a life that's part of some sort of script, and we're unaware of the script. We have no idea the role that we're going to play. We have no guidance in that level. We're watching TV, we're getting distracted, we're having dreams of driving a Porsche and a Lamborghini, and we go through our whole lives trying to drive a Porsche and a Lamborghini, two of one of the most unreliable vehicles on the planet. I'm not saying the Toyota argument. Get a Toyota. I get that you get these cars not because they're just these great engineering marvels. You get them because it's a representation of something that's happened in your mind, and you believe in that, and you move forward in that idea. So now you're going through your life unaware of maybe your true self. And this reality that we're in, when you are the writer and you are the artist, now with technology, you don't need the help of the few that were pushing whoever they wanted to push and the agendas that they wanted to push. All you now have to do is rewrite your script, whatever that script is. Whatever your mother's life was doesn't have to be yours, because it's usually whatever your mother's life was, not necessarily your father's life, and that's an argument all in itself. But for this presentation, it's like your mother, whatever she goes through is a lot to do with her mother, and so on and so forth. And you do not have to live that life. You don't have to live that life. I remember my mom, she had ovarian cancer, and she would always say, my mother had this, so it didn't surprise me that I have this, as if it was something that was gifted to her from her mom. She didn't say that it was something that afflicted her. She acted like it was some sort of gift, like they had this connection because of that. No, Ma, you didn't go to the hospital for 19 years. That might have been the problem. And maybe it's not in your script to live past 62 years old. Maybe you living past 62 years old and being healthy with a sane mind wasn't part of your script. But you can rewrite that script, is my argument. You can rewrite that script. You can... Give me something better to look at. Oh, and if you see, those are fingers back there. That's one of those hand chairs. Those chairs you sit on and it has the hands. That's back there. Let me see. Boom! Hand chair. I've been in the storage for days. Me and LJ was trying to move all that stuff out of the storage so that we can bring the storage bill down. It's just ridiculous. So we found a nice storage unit and we want to put all our stuff in that one, which is half the price of what we're paying, and it's double the size. So this script that we're in and this line that I was talking about, technology allows you to change your script. If you're an artist and you are looking to get your art out there, there are ways that you can do it without the approval of the world. And you don't have to die in order to be successful. Not any longer. Your music, you can put it out there. There are ways you can have music strategically placed anywhere around schools and playgrounds, so when the kid is walking from school, they're hearing that. On the way to school, they're hearing it. They just need to hear it a few times, and next thing you know, they're Googling it, or they're Shazamming it, or they're figuring out a way. Did you hear that song? Yeah, I heard the song. And they feel like they know the song. There are little tricks that technology has helped us understand and learn. So what we need to understand is that in this reality that we're in, once we realize that we do not have to live up to this script, we can rewrite our own script. I think that's when we will truly make it. We would truly make it. We would truly live our true selves, whatever that is. Because this ain't it. This is a joke. I was talking to my boy, good friend of mine. He just came home from doing 22 years in prison. He's like the nicest guy you ever meet. And he never killed anyone and nothing like that. And they used to use him as an example, he told me, in jail. They used to be like, look at Tone. He ain't killed nobody. He been here 20 years. And it's like, I don't know if I want to talk about Tone. It feels weird. Maybe I will. Tone is just a friend of mine from when I was 14 years old, 15 years old. And we were friends until the 90s, until I was like 21. And then he decides to beat some guy up, and the guy calls the cops and say, yo, that guy pulled a gun on me and was like trying to kill me. And my guy was like, that's a lie. I'm going to go all the way to trial. And the judge was like, boom, threw the book at him for wasting the court's time. And that's just like the layman's versions. I'm sure if he heard me say that, he might be offended by those details. And mainly because jail creates those kind of emotional wrecks. You go to jail for 22 years, you ain't coming out a man. You are a man, but you ain't coming out the man that's necessary to move forward in life. Because they do everything for you. They do everything for you. So, if you don't have to pay for your own toilet paper, and you don't have to, it messes with your head when you come out to the real world, and no one really wants to hear anything. They just like, people are struggling just for their own mental awareness, like, mental health. People are trying to just hold on just to that. And then in between that, they got to pay bills, and they got to take care of their kids. They got to hug their children. They got to call their mother and pick up their mother's phone call. And they got to, tell their father, listen, I'm sorry, I forgot to call you when I was in your neighborhood. And I know you hate when I do that. All kind of different things you got to deal with, because we're all just people. But it's like, this guy, this friend of mine, he comes out 22 years. And it saddens me what happens to the human being when it's locked away in a cage. Can I call in? I have 61K subscribers. You want to call my phone? No, no, no. I'm not playing at 50, but I'm relating this. Okay. So, I kind of got a little bit lost in that idea of how I was correlating my boy Tone to what I was saying prior to that about. So I kind of got a little distracted, mainly because I was initially reluctant to even discuss my friend Tone, who I care for him. He's a good man. I want to be there to help him out as much as I can. But it's like, if you're not getting therapy twice a week for 2 years, or at least for a year, it's going to be, I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know how you're going to make it. So, being that I kind of lost my train of thought, talking about my good friend, or at least not about him, talking of him, let's keep on riding through Harlem. You are appreciated for joining me on these little journeys where we get a chance to talk. You are appreciated. Hello? How you doing? What time y'all open? Are you having a problem? This is just 95. I just bought that same generator for a project that I'm doing. Is there a problem with that generator? Oh, I'm nervous now.
Maybe it just ran out of gas.
Okay, maybe ran out of gas. Nah, you got gas. And how long have y'all had that generator?
That's our second day.
No, just the generator. The generator.
Like you said, this is the second day we got here. We don't
okay.
know. So just for 1 hour, we don't know what to do. But
I just bought it.
Oh, you don't
use it. I
Oh.
reused it. I was driving by. I just pulled over. I said, let me see what they got over there.
I mean, when it was running good.
You know, you could go online, and they have this. They have the instructions on this on the HarborFreight.com.
Yeah, she went online and got it, but we still don't know even if she's there. We appreciate you stopping by.
What kind of food?
We have like
I'm live right now. Look, I'm live. You want to tell the people what you?
Yeah, Derek, come talk to my son.
Oh, okay.
Yo, he live. Come tell him what type of food we got. Come tell him what type of food we got. He live.
Pop said my son knows everything.
Let him know about the food and what we do.
Well, we got egg rolls. We got all kind of egg rolls.
What kind of egg rolls you
Shrimp
got?
gumbo. We got
Shrimp gumbo egg rolls?
Yeah, Philly cheesesteak.
That's like Detroit. That's some Detroit shit.
Chopped cheese.
That ain't no
burger.
New York shit. Oh, I want one of those.
You want to try one?
Yes, I want to buy one.
The oil still hot?
That-
I don't even know if
Well, don't worry about it. I'll come back tomorrow or whenever. I'm gonna be around.
All right.
we're
I'm trying to wrap up. I don't know what happened. We was right.
the gumbo joints was going. You right, they flying. It was going.
I'll be back. Yeah, I'm Elvis. Elvis Rosenberg, all right?
Chef Scrams.
Chef Scrams. I like that. I'm gonna come check y'all. Ooh, I got cold. I feel like my jaw was wrapped. It is chilly out here. I should go get my other generator. Help them out. I got a generator. 15 minutes away. LJ, should I help those good people with a generator for the night? Shrimp gumbo and egg rolls. That's Detroit. Detroit does that with the egg roll. They do all kind of stuff with egg rolls. I never had that in Harlem. Whew. I got cold out there. I started to shiver. Ooh. The hell? I don't listen to Drake. Whew. By the way, I'm the guy who will walk up to anyone and say hello. And that's a fact. I've never been afraid to be the first to walk in the room. Never. Oh, I caught a little light chill. All right, I hope you're enjoying our time together. If you have a request for me to go, I would do that, but you would have to do that with the Cash App. So you have a block that you remember, and you say, man, how does that block look? I want to go to that block. I'll go to that block for you. You just have to put it in the Cash App, and that's $sign Elvis Rosenberg, one word. E is capital and the R is capital. Express yourself. Got a couple of nice donations this week from the people out there. You are appreciated for dropping in those donations to the Cash App. Need some company. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, girl. Yeah. You're not gonna catfish me, sweetheart. And I say that respectfully, only because, nobody looks that cute. There ain't too many 8, 9s, and 10s looking to free up some Saturday evening space. That ain't real. Ah, you're very cool. I appreciate that like button, like button, like button. It's okay. No, it's nothing but, ain't nothing but people thinking about church tomorrow. That's the only thing going on here. What time is it? Yeah, it's midnight. It's nothing bad happens until 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. That's what you got to tell your kids. Bring your ass home before 1. And they should be fine. This is where your boy crashed the other day. Boom. Right where this BMW is where Alpo crashed. His 2017 Dodge Ram. Worth about $70,000. Cross that bridge, we coming. And this is the police station he passed as he was driving, where the oncoming traffic is. The police station was to the right. And allegedly, he was coming from this bar, which I talked to the DJ, and he said that he never came in the bar. He just was driving back around and around. I don't know if the DJ wants me telling you that story, but that's the last place allegedly Alpo Martinez visited. You're thinking about Turkey Day and meals and something too. I missed that. Yeah, but there's no Bussy over here. He wasn't circling looking for Bussy around here. There's no Bussy around here. The Bussy spots are in the Bronx, and there's one that's like right where the college is. I was dating this therapist a long time ago, and she was telling me about these people. You know, she would always want to tell me all the stories these people was telling her. It was ridiculous. And she had said that the guy was going to these cruising areas, and I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. And she said the street that they were on. I was like, nah, I never even knew that was what they doing over there. So that was pretty funny. And there is a Bussy stroll around here, but it's not this area of Harlem. It's more Washington Heights. It's more the Terrace. They call that the Lenox Terrace area. Matter of fact, let's take a ride over there real quick and see if it even exists any longer. You know, these people might be using that grinder. The hell they gonna go cruise on the street for when they could just pop a damn hit one of those apps? We're on a Bussy stroll. I know it feels weird saying that, but you know, this was years and years and years ago. Let's see if it still exists. I would think it does not exist any longer. I would think that these people just hit the app, and you know, they good to go with the app. For the guys, you know, for the dudes. Crazy is that I take my kids sledding in that area. They go sledding in that area that I'm talking about. So by day it's like a really cool park, and then by night it's like Bussy Patrol. If that even exists anymore. We're gonna see. Make sure everybody is using appropriate language in the chat. I do not want the algorithm to even know I'm around. I don't even want them to think about me. You heard? Bussy find the app. Yeah, I think it's called Grindr. You ain't watched the fight, Bussy? Who is this? Is this person referring this to me, Anthony? I didn't watch the fight. What fight? Mr. Seaflow. No, Mr. Seaflow. Mr. Seaflow was trying to get people in his vehicle. I'm bringing this to the people, bringing this to you. You get to see it. To the left of the Polo Grounds. And that also used to be where they had the original Yankee Stadium, I believe. right where these project houses are, right there, these big houses. That used to be, I believe, Yankee Stadium. The original one. And if that's true, the one that they're in now is the third one then. Oh, no left turns. Eight out of us are in here on the Bussy route. Crazy. That's good. That's good. On the Bussy route. Oh my God. Oh, that's crazy funny. I actually think this is the right way? Yeah, this is the right way. Put it where? Right there. That's funny. I would consider that finished, but I will her. Do you see any correlation with the Kanye interview and Dolph passing? No, I never even considered that. I never even thought about that. You know, I honestly find it hard to believe that people are full with, they're so hypnotized with jealousy that they would take a person's life like that, that's in so highly respected. It feels a little more professional and a lot less emotional. And when I say professional, I'm not saying someone who's done it before. I'm saying that this was probably CIA related. And the picture is so out of focus that we can't even see it. And we would just be too busy asking why, when that's what gets us all in trouble. The why. Okay, so this I believe is where it starts. And this is the college here. So we're not going to drive into the college. We're going to go to the left. There's a road that's to the left that's adjacent to the park. Big, beautiful park. And alongside the road, there's supposed to be where you will find guys cruising. So it will be. That's a famous high school here too. On this, on the right side. And there is a police car did come up behind me, and so that makes me believe like there is something goes on back here if they got police just cruising down in a city where there's no real policing going on. It looks like the parking stops here. So all along this road here will just be guys walking around back and forth cruising. So if Alpo was really cruising, he would have been up this side of Harlem and would still probably be here today. So it was not the cruising that did it. Okay, there's a bunch of guys right there. Well, those are 4 white people and 1 black guy. And there was 2 women. And they were dressed like hippies, so don't think they're cruising. And the road we were on just now is St. Nicholas Terrace. I know a lookout when I see one. Yeah, this looks like it gets real serious at the end of St. Nicholas Terrace. and just waved hello. Because they were definitely paying attention. I was told we were controlled by the moon because we're mostly water. True? I have no idea. I've never heard of that. Only one side of the moon is always seen, being a reflection. If the sun, well, whatever we're told the moon is, it's not. Even though NASA just revealed that the sun is in our atmosphere. I mean, the moon is in our atmosphere. Maybe they're worried about one of these home rocket people shooting a rocket from their backyard because of that technology that I was talking about in the rewriting of our scripts, and to be able to do much more than we possibly could under the controls of others. So if we're not suffering from that fear, then we have an opportunity here, man, especially if you have money. And it's like, if you got a great idea and you got some money, you don't have to go to Shark Tank to win. Just jump on a train or a plane to well, I was gonna say Alibaba, but you know, to China. They got translators out there. You'll find somebody that'll make you those shoes. You'll find somebody that'll make you those coats, that hat, that jersey. Oh, I got security pulling up next to me. Nope, they're going. Because, you know, this is no standing all the time. No standing anytime. I didn't say no, yeah, it says no parking, but I'm not parking, I'm standing. So I'm only going to be a second. You know, the moon is really interesting. Especially this whole concept that we went to the moon. I find the concept that we went to the moon to be absolutely ludicrous. One of the things I say that I didn't, this is not me, this is somebody named Matt. And Matt from Quantum of Conscience really helped the guy from Quantum of Conscience. He really helped me with that, because he said something that I found that it just works for me, and I would suggest you use this for anyone else. And you say, what batteries did they use on the spacesuits for NASA? No one knows what batteries were used. They'll be like, what batteries? And then you have to tell the person, you know, those spacesuits, those backpacks that they had were air conditioners on their backs. And those air conditioners were powered by the batteries. So you have the air conditioner, and then in the bottom you had the battery. That's why there was different sections of that pack. Okay? So who powered the spacesuits. Was it Duracell? Was it Eveready? Was it Energizer? Was it, who did that? At what point are we gonna wake up? If this was real, that battery company would be the biggest battery company. They were like, been on the moon, and now we're in your drugstore. Want to power your flashlight? We power the whole, the little car that they were driving. They were driving a car on the moon. That car was done on, it was done with batteries. That was an electric car. How you drive an electric car on the moon and we don't never get to know what batteries, what company created that batteries? You telling me that NASA mined those batteries? Created those batteries out of a NASA battery situation? That wasn't a secondary market that they got the batteries to put into their suits? You telling me that they created the battery and then decided not to even tell anybody which battery, how they did or did not? You can go to Walmart and get a NASA shirt. NASA sells their logo to all these different, and you get a cup, it got NASA on it. You telling me that this company that's trademarked their name, that are licensing their name everywhere, are not licensing batteries? What? Maybe the government needed to tell us that we went to the moon because something was off at the time. Maybe some sort of national security was at risk and we didn't know. Or maybe it was just a distraction of its time to stop us from living our true selves. The same way this thing going around is stopping us from living our true selves. The same way all the movies we talked about that and all the television shows that are being done simultaneously to keep us totally distracted. The moon, that concept of the moon and going to the moon and the fight for the moon and the race to the moon, all of that was done as a huge distraction. Children all over the world were looking up at the moon and wanted to fly to the moon with a rocket. Now they're telling us that the moon is in our atmosphere. Is that why we can see the moon in the daytime? Stop it. Pull over for a... Oh, stop it already. We don't want to overdo the algorithm with all this pussy. Back to the pussy schedule program. Should we ask what your religion is? If you don't want to answer, I understand because that's personal information. I think it comes back to whether we could accept the collective expression was accepting the experiment was being good one too. What my religion is. What is my religion? You know, I drive by the cemetery and I make the cross symbol when I drive by the cemetery. When I drive by the cemetery, I go like this. And I'll look this way, and if there's a cemetery on this side, I'll do it to this side. And sometimes when I get towards the end of the cemetery, I'll do it again. Why do I do that when I drive by cemeteries? It's not because I'm Catholic, because I'm not. I do that because it makes me feel good. When I was a kid, all the guys in my neighborhood, you know, all the Italians, when I was a kid, there was all Italians. We were the first brown people to move into the neighborhood. And we weren't there too long. This guy came out to take a look at me. He went inside now. He's going inside to the right. So, you know, when I was growing up, all the older guys, you know, they used to be like, hey, and I always wanted to do that. So I do it every once in a while. Only really when I drive by cemeteries. I like to roll my tobacco up. Even though I don't smoke tobacco. That stuff will kill you. to see the hand again? It's a chair hand. Just one of the many cool things that I have in storage. Thank you for checking out this little channel on a place we call YouTube, where a guy like me can talk to the good people like you, and we can ask the question, where the hell did NASA get those amazing batteries that they took them up to outer space and never told us the brand, never tried to market their brand onto a battery itself? They could have lied to us for all these years. Why didn't they? Why was this overlooked? I have no idea. I have no idea. Sorry, excuse me. You are a very humble, caring person. I appreciate that. That makes me feel good. Getting around an AC system that would break my back and reaching the president so far away. Yeah, come on. How many videos and movies were filmed right there in that spot? Right here. On these stairs. How many photo shoots, how many movies, how many videos were filmed right here? Whew. I would say 350, if not more. Don't forget the Cash App. $ Elvis Rosenberg. You are appreciated. This is the part where I say goodnight. I wasn't gonna forget. I love you.